Hi, this is Chris. I'm going to go through the process of importing demo content into a theme in the hopes of having it look just like the demo site for the theme that you purchased. Now, for this example, I'm using the Daily Press theme, so some of the features and actual content that I'll be dealing with might be specific to this theme, but the general process of importing content will be pretty universal, so it should apply to whatever theme that you're using. When you have the zip file downloaded from ThemeForest containing all the files, go ahead and open that up. And inside the folder, depending on the theme you have, you'll see content similar to this. So for example, we have the theme folder, a zipped version of that theme, a demo content XML file, help file, licensing, and then Photoshop files. So for this video, what we're primarily going to be dealing with is the demo content. I have a demo site set up and ready to go. I have the theme already installed, and right after activating the theme, if I go to the front end of the site, you'll see it'll look like this. It's pretty blank because there's some theme specific settings that we have to have set up. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and go through the import process. So under Tools, navigate to Import, and I'm going to click WordPress. Now, if you've never done the import process, you might be directed to a different page that's telling you to install a plugin. Just go ahead and go through those steps, and once you finish with that, you should arrive to a page like this. So all we're going to do is choose the demo file, and you might have to locate it on your machine. There it is for me. And I'm going to go ahead and click Upload File and Import. And the next screen you'll see, for this particular theme, there are multiple authors associated with the demo file. So you have the option to assign them to an existing user on the site that you have, or you can go ahead and just import the author. For this example, I'm going to import the authors. And then there's another option to import attachments. I recommend doing this. It's always best to have images and other content installed on your actual machine, just so that you're not streaming them from someone else's domain. Go ahead and click Submit. And depending on the size of the demo file, this import process might take some time. So just let it sit, and I'll go ahead and pause the video until it's done. Alright, that took quite a bit of time because the particular demo file that I was importing was very, very large. There were a lot of posts and a lot of images, so that one took some time, but depending on the demo file, it might be pretty quick for you. So now we arrived at the results page, and you can see that there are a little bit of some failed imports regarding users. I'm not exactly sure why that happens. Sometimes it could just be the restrictions you have for creating new users maybe set up with your site. If you see other errors like failed to download images or other things like that, that may occur as well. Really, the results page here, some of the issues that you might have are kind of a mystery as to why they occur sometimes, and they can sometimes be random. Another thing I want to point out is that if this page shows up blank, or there's some kind of fatal error or something along the lines where there are problems with the actual page that you see, that is not something related to the demo file or the theme that you're using. That generally is a WordPress issue. Or it could also be a hosting issue as far as how long it took to import the content and the size of the content that you're importing. Like I said, with the one that I imported, it was a pretty large file, so that's something that you might need to look into on the WordPress support forums if you have issues with that. So now that I have all this content imported, if I go to posts, you can see I have a ton of new posts, about 3 pages worth, 58 items. Let's go to categories. I have a bunch of new categories, 24 new categories. And we'll go to pages. I have new pages. So this content is all now available. So let's go ahead and just see what happens on the front end of the site if I refresh. All right, so not really anything changes. There's still some settings that we have to configure. So for this particular theme, if I go to Appearance and Customize, this particular theme supports the WordPress theme customizer. So I can control the settings from here. So we have site title and tagline control, color control for this theme. And again, it might be different for the theme that you're using. I'm going to go ahead and assign some menus. The theme demo content imported some menus, so I'm going to just go ahead and select those here. You can see the site's getting populated as I do this. So we have some new links here. And let's see. Yes, I want to display those features. I don't need to worry about advertising right now. Let's go ahead and just put some example stuff in here. Just going to select some categories. And you can see these categories were categories imported by the demo content. And I'm just going to select some random stuff here. All right. So that should populate the front end quite a bit once that registers. There we go. So we have some homepage content showing up now. And let's just go ahead and make sure I finish this up here. Okay, so I'll save and publish that. So we're getting closer to the site looking like the demo. I'll go ahead and refresh the front end without the customizer. Okay. And so the next thing that I want to cover is when you're importing a demo content, the things that do not get included are the widgets. Oh, it looks like they do maybe include some of them. Yeah, if you have a primary widget, oh, let's see. No, these are from the previous. These are default widgets. So the so let me say that again. the demo content file does not include widgets from the previous demo site, and so that needs to be configured manually. I'm not sure why exactly WordPress doesn't include widget data. It might be because most widgets are generated by plugins maybe, so it would require users to have the exact plugins installed when they do the demo import. I'm not quite sure. But for the sake of showing what the demo site widgets look like, you can see that for this particular theme I have a lot of text widgets used. So we have an advertisements, we have an RSS widget, tag cloud, some more text widgets, recent post, Twitter Widget Pro, which is a plugin, pages, calendar, text. So everything except the Twitter Widget Pro is a default widget. So that can be configured. And I also mentioned this in the help file as well for this particular theme. So you need to configure, as I said, the widgets manually. I'm just going to go ahead and throw some in for the sake of creating an example site. Let's see. So that's for the primary widgets there. And let's do this for the secondary widgets. And again, for depending on the theme that you're using, you may have more active widget areas to populate, and some themes just have one. That's totally normal. So we have some widgets assigned there, so let's go ahead and just refresh this page. Okay, so you can see that the content's filling in there. All right, so everything's pretty much looking like the demo site as far as populating the content, minus the advertisements, which, as I said, I'm not going to deal with the advertisements right now. But we're looking pretty much like the demo site. The other thing that I do want to mention is the menus. The demo content does import menus, but one thing that you'll want to take note of is that any reference to a home link usually is going to be specific to the theme that the demo content originated from. So if I look at this home link here, you can see the URL is not matching the URL of my current demo site. So that's because this is coming from another site that the demo content originated from. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I'm going to go to View All and add my own home button. There we go. And you can see the URL matches there. So if I click Save, I can make sure that my home link is proper. So just to kind of briefly go over what we did, we imported the demo content file, and some users weren't unable to be imported, but pretty much everything else regarding the actual content of the demo content file was imported, such as posts. We had media imported. I'll just go ahead and check that out real quick. You can see all the images that I have from the demo content downloaded. And again, that's another reason that you want to click the import feature, because it's important for the featured aspect of the featured image aspect of WordPress. I believe depends on you importing the files instead of streaming them from another domain. So be sure to import all the images that you have. And then it also imported pages and post categories and the menus, but it does not import widgets. So and it also does not import the theme customizer features, but the theme should have control over some of the default options that are required for the customize feature. But those do not come from the demo content file. So I hope that was some help to you with importing content into your WordPress installation. Yeah, so thanks for checking out the video.